cursor poses are defined through special states, which can be found inside 3D hand cursor model hand states. There you find all the states. When you select one, for example, idle, you see some options. State is the name of the animation state. You probably don't want to change this. It's when you select the hand and go into animator, then you see here the animation states. These are all the states that can be played by the hand. Be very careful if you change anything here. Usually you shouldn't change a thing here. So the name of this animation state is the name that is played by the hand state. Idle. So don't change this. But what you can easily change is, for example, the transition time, which is basically the duration of the transition when one state is exited and another state is entered. Also feel free to duplicate these states. When you want, for example, a second state, which also plays the idle animation, but has another transition time, simply duplicate this asset and use your own parameters here. And then in the target, the orb, for example, in set cursor, you use your own state then. So there is another thing, which is the LazyUpdate delay, which I want to demonstrate. So for the idle state, I turn it back to 0 to show you what happens without it. The LazyUpdate delay is relevant when changing between two hotspots which lay close to each other. For example, we have the left and the left two animations here. So if we move between these two, then you'll see that for a very short moment, my pointer is in the space between, which triggers the idle state. So even if I go very quick, the animation for a short time moves into the idle state. And to reduce this unnecessary state in between, we can use a LazyUpdate delay. This is usually a very low number. It's the number of seconds. So let's use 0.2 seconds, 200 milliseconds. And the cursor script will wait this time before this state is activated. So before we go into idle state, we wait 200 milliseconds. And this allows us to skip the idle animation in between if the pointer is less than 200 milliseconds in this area between. So let's see. So now the cursor directly moves from left to left 2 and vice versa. So we skip basically now the idle transition in between, and this makes the whole experience a little bit smoother. So I wrote the script that way that the LazyUpdate delay is essentially only required in the idle state. So all the other states usually have LazyUpdate delayed 0, but of course you can also give a value here if you need it. But for this common use case that you have this idle state which will be activated